In this episode, we're going to talk about sustainable, responsible impact investing, kind of an update of what's happening in advocacy and growth currently.
And this is the Impact Financial Planners channel with Bill and Jason. And we're here just to talk about making sustainable, responsible impact investing easy for socially conscious investors who want to make a positive change in society through their investments.
And Impact Financial Planners is a fee-only financial planning firm specializing in sustainable, responsible impact investing at impactfinancialplanners.com. All right, thanks for joining us. We're just going to give an update. There's two organizations that we're going to kind of talk about their findings. One is USSIF, the Social Investment Forum, and they every 2 years come out with a report of how SRI impact investing has changed. And As You Sow annually comes out with a preview or a look at proxy voting and shareholder advocacy. What kind of resolutions are being proposed?
I'll just kind of start it off by asking you a few questions, as though I'm a viewer here and just trying to get more information. So first question is, just with SRI in general, how has it grown?
So the USSIF report found that SRI investing in the U.S. has expanded at a pretty good rate. It's up to $12 trillion, up from about $9 trillion in 2016. And that's about 26%, or 1 out of $4 is using environmental, social, governance factors in their investing. So there's a range. Some are just using it as a factor. Some are advocating and participating quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a big increase for sure. And so who is it that's participating in doing more of this socially responsible or SRI investing?
Yeah, and it's a big increase, and it's becoming more mainstream. I think it is becoming more known. But who's participating? About $9 trillion is through institutional investors. So this is professionally managed money through money managers. $9 trillion through institutional investors, and that could be public institutions, insurance companies, education, healthcare, faith-based foundations, nonprofits, and even family office labor groups. $3 trillion is on behalf of individual investors. So that's through registered investment companies, alternative funds, community investment institutions.
Wow. Okay, excellent. And so, one of the more important parts of SRI is shareholder resolutions. So that's where basically, if you own stock in that company, you're a shareholder, you have a vote, and you can also, file a resolution to try to shape the change or the direction that you want to see with that company. And so how many of those have been filed?
Yeah, so you're right. That's how you really make a difference, is through these resolutions. And a lot of people, institutions don't vote, so they pass a lot of times with a small percentage. There's $2 trillion of that $12 trillion that's involved in ESG. $2 trillion of it is actually being used to file shareholder resolutions, is backed in the resolution filing area. And for 2019, there were 400 shareholder resolutions filed on environmental, social, governance issues. 71 proposals, and that's more than last year, have been withdrawn. So you can file it. It's a negotiating tool. You talk to the company if you have an issue with that company. And if the company doesn't want to make change, you file a resolution. And if somewhere before the resolution goes to a vote, the company says, yeah, we're in agreement, or there comes to an agreement, you can withdraw that shareholder resolution. So in addition to the 400 that are going to be voted on, 71 were pulled. And that's usually a good sign. It's a lot easier to negotiate with a company than to go through the shareholder resolution process.
Better for both sides.
Both sides. The company looks good too. They make a change. They don't even have to be forced to make it.
What's the trend? What are the resolutions about?
I guess similar to last year, one of the big issues is climate change. So just about half of the resolutions were in regards to environmental proposals, mostly climate change, and corporate political activity. And I'm sure that's going to be even more next year as we get close to an election. The categories of board diversity and oversight, sustainability, human rights, were about 10 to 12% each. Diversity in the workplace was another 4%, and the remaining issues were health, around health issues, media concerns, ethical finance, and animal testing.
And so obviously we've covered, the growth, kind of how some of those changes are made, kind of some similarities and differences from the past. What's different this year?
So this year there was a big change. Some big mutual fund companies are getting involved with proxy voting, and this is new. Normally, if it's not an SRI fund, they abstain from voting on ESG issues. And if you don't vote, you're kind of just passing it off to management, voting along with management. So some very large companies got involved in voting for environmental social governance issues. It started with them supporting climate change issues, and now they've gotten into voting on issues or proposals around the opioid epidemic and gun control. So they're expanding. Hopefully that's a trend that continues, that they do look at more, because these ESG issues do affect companies' bottom lines. So it's good that they're having a presence there.
I guess we covered a little bit of this already. So the topics that were addressed.
More specifically?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if we break them out into the ESG, the environmental issues that are being addressed, there were 60 resolutions about climate change this year and managing greenhouse gas emissions. Several proposals are seeking to get reporting from energy and utility companies about what these firms plan to do in a low-carbon economy of the future. What is their transition plan? 9 asked for reports on energy efficiency and renewable energy goals from food firms, industrial firms, and retailers. And then concerns about food production and how that contributes to deforestation prompted some companies to pledge that they will only get their food supplies from sustainable sources.
And so on the social side, what kind of things were addressed?
Social side,
About, like gun control and opioid epidemic, right?
you got it. The big campaign is about elections and lobbying. And of course, as we get close to elections, that becomes more and more of an issue. 33 proposals asked for oversight and disclosure about federal, state, and local lobbying. Additional proposals regarded LGBTQ protections, prison labor, human trafficking, a bunch of other ones, but those were not as large.
And then as far as governance of those corporations themselves, what kind of stuff is addressed with that?
Governance, there's, again, a long-standing push for companies to have more diverse boards of directors. And so 28 proposals were asking to change policies or change how they're getting boards of directors and diversify that board. 13 resolutions asked for some type of board oversight.
Well, hopefully this gives you, the viewers, kind of an update on what's going on, a little deeper look at SRI. And if you have questions about it, please reach out to us. We'll respond to you directly. And
yes,
we can always go in deeper.
Exactly. There's a lot.
Specific questions, yeah.
There's a lot of information out there about specific companies, which ones are being addressed, what funds are addressing what issues or filing resolutions, what managers. So there is a lot out there. This is trying to just get a trend or report on trends and some of the issues being addressed.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can always find us at impactfinancialplanners.com. And please like and subscribe this video. And we plan to be doing more updates like this in the future.
And also, if you want some information about SRI investing, we do have a free ebook at impactfinancialplanners.com/SRI ebook. Free. You can learn about some of the different issues, how you can make an impact with your investments.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.